Well, here we go then, and Durham are the ones that get us underway. Three losses in the past 5 and just 2 draws for Durham. Forest also losing 3 of the last 5, drawn 1, but have won their last match, and we know how much just one win can be so influential, can change things very, very quickly in this league, week on week. We've seen it switch around. Well, Stapleton just taking her time there. No real rush or urgency to get the ball away from this Forest back line just yet. And the Reds happy to allow themselves to settle into this match before applying too much pressure. That's a lovely long ball up and meets the head of one of the Durham back line before pinging back into the midfield. Oh, head, nice little bit of footwork there to keep possession of the ball, and straight back to Georgina Broom in the middle. Forest very calm and composed in this opening 90 seconds, and it's good to see actually the side coming out and not panicking too much and not trying to get ahead on the front foot too early on. It leads to some much neater play, this calmness. Forest looking very well put together in the early stages. Brown then, over on this right wing, gives it away with a good little touch. Means it's deflected off Lucy Watson, the youngster. And it's out for a Forest throw-in. Well, Kiernan back over to Broom. Oh, and it was nearly intercepted very swiftly by Molly Lambert, but just a little bit too much on it. Oh, Grace Eyre just waiting for the ball to be rolled over to her. A bit of miscommunication between herself and some of the volunteers around the pitch, but Durham getting perhaps their first proper taste of any real possession. Off ahead of Lucy Agg and into the feet of Nottingham Forest again. Some really nice passing play from Nottingham Forest there. Durham being forced to chase the ball and already on the defensive. That was a nice vision there from Stapleton, and Forest find themselves building up to the first attacking opportunity of the game, really, before it was quickly thwarted by Durham. And now Brown with the opportunity to restart that attack. Well, free kick Durham's way. Oh, Broom integral in that Forest back line, isn't she? You can see she's starting the play out from the back every time. It starts with her. 13 starts this season, 4 yellow cards, so not one that's too afraid to get stuck in. But an 83% tackle success rate, it's pretty impressive. And a real force to be reckoned with in that Forest defence. Well, good throw, long throw from Foster. And Durham really trying to battle it out now, and the energy is starting to pick up. As Kiernan tries to turn and make headway, but Toland instantly causing barriers. Foster, nice turn. Foster looks to try and have a way through an avenue there, but it just wasn't quite accessible to her, and now Forest are back on the ball. Well, it's a lovely ball up, and Boyolorka now, we know how much of a threat she can be. The creative vision she has is fantastic, but Forest just dispossessed on the edge of the area, and the referee blowing his whistle pretty swiftly there. See, it was Rachel Rowe conceding the foul. But Forest starting to build again. Boyolorka tries to switch play across to this far right side, and Kiernan unable to pick it up. Durham, of course, wanting to make sure that they take at least a point away from this. Ideally, all three. They know that they're not out of the relegation danger just yet. Portsmouth, bottom of the table with 14 points, level on points with Ipswich. Durham sat with 16 at the moment, so we could be in here, and it's a very, very good bit of play from Bradley, who manages to get herself in and disrupts the flow of Kiernan. Kiernan looked dangerous. That cut in left was almost imminent, wasn't it? Bradley fantastically anticipating it, just managing to get in there first. Excellent pace. Well, it was an exciting start, wasn't it, to the reverse fixture, if you cast your minds all the way back to October. 3 goals in that opening 45. 2 of them in the opening 20 minutes or so for Durham. They really caught Forest on the back foot, but Forest seem to have come out much more aware of themselves this time round. Forest, of course, sat 8th in the table at the moment. And they'll be thinking that any points here are good. They'll be wanting to correct that loss. The second half of the reverse fixture, a bit of a struggle for them, a bit frustrating in the sense that they would have felt they deserved a little bit more than to not even get on the score sheet. But Durham now starting to build up. Slightly too much on that ball, and it's going to be Broom that just lets it roll out of play for a goal kick. Well taken quickly, and Forest again happy to just build out from this back three formation. Wow, it's a lovely ball and a great touch from Brown. And she's through, she finds Kiernan, who does cut in this time. Some real attacking spark now from Nottingham Forest. Each time they've managed to break through, they get just slightly closer to finding that goal-scoring opportunity. That was a lovely ball, wasn't it? From Brown, as Kiernan finally got that cut in left that she was looking for earlier on. Forest will line up for a corner now. It's Murphy that takes it. It's a lovely delivery, but it's just curling off onto the roof of the net. You thought for just a second, didn't you, that might land perfectly for the head of one of the Forest players that could just dink it home, but not this time as it curls round and back out of play. Well, Rachel Rowe collecting that nicely, and the ball swiftly passed through the Forest midfield. Boya-Lorca back to Murphy. Murphy decides to try and unleash one, and she's blocked by her own teammate, Rachel Rowe. Rowe unable to get out of the way in time. Boya-Lorca tries to send one in, deflected again. Sarah Wilson, the Durham captain, sends it back out into the midfield. High press from Durham, seeing Jessie Stapleton now down that wing. A bit of a shove in the back by Watson, the cross in! And it's scrambled away, it's in! Nottingham Forest took away a delightful goal in the form of Joy Omiwa. Durham thought perhaps they just escaped, but 13 minutes played and the Reds find themselves ahead. Well, here it is, that cross from Brown, and Durham thought they'd just about done enough, didn't they, to get rid of it, but Omiwa charging into that back corner and just poking it home. Omiwa getting her third goal of the season. Well, Durham need to find it in the legs to respond pretty quickly now. The more they can carry that momentum through. That's a fantastic looping shot from Lucy Watson, and there it is, the momentum and that response that I was asking for. The 21-year-old doing the best she absolutely can to get a stunning effort on target. Emily Batty managing to keep the advantage to the Reds. Brilliant young talent, isn't she, Lucy Watson? 21 years old, capped for the young Lionesses at under 17s and under 19 level. Formerly of Chelsea, of course, before making her move to the Blues. And that little spark of brilliance that we just saw shows exactly what she's capable of. And hopefully we see much more of that as this match progresses. But Forest then, looking to build another attack. Well, Stapleton, it's where the move really started, wasn't it, for that goal? It all began with Jessie Stapleton. That's a lovely run. Michaela Forster before she was forced backwards slightly. Well, Foster tries to send it in behind that back line, but there's no one there in a blue shirt to chase it. It's a very easy recovery for Forest. Well, Durham picking the pace up slightly in their passes now. You can see that just being pinged around a little bit quicker. But Shepherd apologising to her team there as a bit too much on it and the ball's cleared. Well, here's that attempt from Lucy Watson, and brilliant, wasn't it? Almost nestled it in to that right-hand side, just tucking it into the post, but Emily Batty doing a superb job of keeping her line clear. Well, Rogers just trying to nudge that on before Durham were able to recover, and Lucy Watson chasing the ball down now. Watson almost on her own. She's got 3 red shirts for company. Watson crosses in and deflected safely away. Foster takes it quickly. Of course, as always, there are various fixtures going on in the WSL 2. Sunderland are 1-0 up against rivals Newcastle. Oh, Murphy looking for the cross. And they were almost finding herself with her second goal scoring opportunity of the afternoon. Murphy again. Stapleton across the back line. Forest looking much, much better than perhaps we've seen them in previous fixtures, especially in that reverse fixture. And Boyle-Lorca now unleashing a fantastic strike from range. Chantel Boyle-Lorca has the Reds double their advantage. And you could see she was just about to wind it up, wasn't she? You knew exactly what she wanted out of that strike. And there it was, the touch and the turn. Powerful right-footed strike. It took a slight deflection, but found the bottom of the net nonetheless. And Forest find themselves 2-0 up against Durham. Well, Durham still with plenty of time, obviously, to get themselves back in it. 20 minutes played. About 25, give or take, left of this first half. And just one goal can really dramatically change things, can't it? So, Forest needing to stay vigilant. If you have enjoyed following the Women's Super League and the Women's Super League 2 this season, you'll be delighted to know that WSL Football launched their brand new app earlier this week, offering fans of both the Barclays Women's Super League and Barclays Women's Super League 2 a front row seats to exclusive content and all the games broadcast on the league's YouTube channels. To download the app for free, fans can search WSL Football in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. So do keep your eye out and download the Women's Super League Football app. Bradley. Durham just trying to start moving this ball around a little bit quicker, and play has to be paused here just momentarily, hopefully, as the medics are waved on. Perhaps just a bit of an overstretch, maybe. But it'll give the players a chance to reset and get some instructions nonetheless. Carly Davis, I'm sure, will be much, much happier after viewing the first 20 minutes of this performance in comparison to the reverse fixture. And players taking on plenty of fluids, whether that be electrolytes, carb drinks perhaps, caffeine, various different refueling techniques. Well, Stapleton back to her feet and giving her a bit of a test out. She looks slightly sore. Medic's just finishing the assessment, and yeah, just her calf causing difficulties. Play back underway. Bradley straight over to Wilson, and now Durham really trying to make headway nice and quickly. A series of short, sharp passes as Tolan tries to then extend one in towards that penalty area. They weren't quite able to do it this time. And that ball just with too much on it, and a Forest throw-in. Well, the referee just not quite happy with something there, slightly out of picture, but the whistle goes and play is allowed to continue. Well, Durham, a quick turn and shoots. Lucy Watson again proving herself to be a dangerous young talent. Emily Batty happily collecting that one. It posed no real threat for the Forest keeper, but Watson showing that Forest definitely need to be aware of her. Kiernan just being forced out of play. And the Forest tempo has perhaps just slowed down slightly. Well, Stapleton being forced to come off then. It's a real shame. As Kirsty Smith takes her place. That calf issue is slightly too much for Stapleton to continue with. And hopefully a bit of treatment and she'll be back up and playing, ready for the next fixture. But Forest then taking their corner short this time. And Kiernan just unable to keep the ball in play, but Durham with a sharpness about them now, more of an urgency. Take the throw in quickly and are moving this ball around at a much better rate than we saw in the opening 20 minutes or so. Well, Beth Heppel just taking a moment. She's the club's all-time top goal scorer with 107 goals in all competitions throughout her career. She scored 8 times in all competitions this season. She's been at the club for 12 years now. Not a million miles away from 300 appearances for the Blues. And so Heppel an integral part of the Durham camp. Wow, that's a lovely ball, and Durham just trying to get themselves in behind the back line here, and now Lucy Watson goes for goal again! And Watson desperate to get herself on the score sheet. That's the 3rd time she's troubled Emily Batty this half. Well, Heppel restarting the attack. Briggs back to Eyre. Eyre back to Bradley. Foster. And there's the forward move. Beth Heppel almost scoops it up and goes for goal, but it's just intercepted milliseconds too soon for her. That's a good cross in, and Durham have pulled one back. What a lovely cross that was. And Forest looking slightly dejected. Well, Lily Agg looking pretty pleased with herself, as she should be. The movement starting with Wilson. And of course, Lucy Watson passing on there as Grace Eyre delivers the cross, and it's a lovely glancing header from Lily Agg. Nottingham Forest 2, Durham 1, 30 minutes played. This is turning into what could be a very exciting second half as both sides do battle for all 3 points. I think there's probably... Well, Forest will want that 2-goal cushion back. And a bit of pressure coming from Brown there, but Shepherd easily clearing away. Forest perhaps were just getting themselves a little bit too comfortable, as Durham really were pushing on as we headed towards that half-an-hour mark. Kiernan finds the cross in, and it's deflected straight back out. Kiernan again, deciding to bring it further out wide to Brown. Forest being forced back slightly here. Durham looking more dangerous than they were 10 minutes ago. Well, pass from Smith, but just slightly too much on it, and Durham are trying to make the most of this. Well, Kiernan, she's been instrumental, hasn't she, so far? She only had 5 appearances, well 6 now, appearances this season, on loan from Liverpool. But has been very creative, has had a real attacking flair in her play. She's been really dangerous down that right wing for Forest. Absolutely crucial in that first goal. Well, the players lined up, and it was Beth Heppel that collected the free kick. It's dinked in towards the back post. And Durham almost find themselves on level terms. An overhead volley sees the ball out of play. It was Briggs that almost got Durham back square with a half volley. It just struck the woodwork. Omewa tries to find the ball through, and it's deflected back to her. Oh, it's a fantastic touch. It was almost deflected goalward by a blue shirt. Forest waking up a little bit. Well, the goal kick taken pretty short. And Kiernan trying to just put a bit of pressure on Durham. But now Rachel Rowe finds Omewa. It's deflected back, and Durham are able to prevent anything too threatening. Heppel back to Shepherd. Niliag goes down and stays down in a bit of pain. The referee slightly slower blowing his whistle, much to the frustration of Ag there. Well, just discussions with her teammates, Lily Agg, if she's okay, see exactly what it is that's hurt there. Looks like it could be somewhere in the base of the calf, Achilles sort of region. Well, she is the one that got Durham on the score sheet. A goal almost taking Forest by surprise slightly. You can see that lovely cross coming in from Grace Eyre, and fantastic, just glancing header over to her left-hand side. It looks in a pretty similar region. The injury that saw Jessie Stapleton leave the game pretty early. But another chance for Adam Furness to talk to his team and to perhaps try and motivate them and keep them on track for maybe getting themselves level before half-time. You can see the rain coming down on the pitch. It's not the nicest of conditions in Nottingham. The wind making it feel very, very chilly. There you can see it just looks rather unpleasant. Not that has mattered to the Forest fans that are in the stadium. They've been in full voice so far. The encouragement from their team, I'm sure, has gone a long, long way. And they'll be needed in the second half to help rally the Reds. Well, Lily Agg still struggling here. And it looks like Lily Agg will be leaving the game. That's a real shame to see 2 injuries in this first half. But the Durham goal scorer leaves to a large round of applause as Grace Collinson makes her way onto the pitch, and some fresh legs for the Blues might make all the difference. Well, Kiernan on that right wing again. She's been so dangerous there this afternoon. Back to Murphy. Rachel Rowe there in support as well. Oh, it's a lovely little chip over. And Kiernan not quite able to keep it in. That would have been a delightful bit of play from Nottingham Forest. Well, goals still coming in from around the Barclays Women's Super League 2. And Charlton have gone 1-up away at Crystal Palace. It's a very important goal as the league leaders want to get themselves back into winning form. Well, the interim head coach then of Durham will be much happier with what he's seen since that goal. The Blues have been picking up the pace. And the game a very different one than it was around about 15 minutes ago. Well, Rowe on the attack now on Amuima. Looks like she could be through on goal. There was a shout for offside there, but no flag's gone up. Well, Rowe again, dispossessed. Quick touch from Heppel, and now Durham are looking to really make strides down that right-hand side. Collinson in support. Almost waiting for the cross. It wasn't able to happen this time round, and now Durham will reset, try again. That's a nice quick bit of play there. That's a beautiful cross in, and slippy fingers from Emily Batty. Luckily, her team there in support, and she was able to collect and recover that one without too much stress and too much problems. That was a great cross in, wasn't it, from Molly Lambert, and it's unfortunate there was just nobody quite on the end of it. Emily Batty lucky there were no blue shirts to capitalise on that slight error from her. And we were just losing the battle there to Lauren Briggs. The ball eventually bouncing out of play anyway. And a slight pause as Foster waits for a ball. One eventually thrown back to her, and Durham can get this back underway. Well, 6 minutes of added time being indicated. It's unsurprising given the two relatively lengthy stoppages we've had for the injuries in this first half. A bit of a tussle there between Foster and Amuima. But Heppel able to get it out of the midfield carnage and the chaos. And Sarah Wilson now bringing some big strides forward and The header way clear, and Emily Batty has no reason to worry this time round. Well, you can see the stats on your screen looking relatively even. In reality, Nottingham Forest enjoying more of the possession. They've perhaps looked the slightly more collected of the two teams. For the majority, Durham appearing slightly more rushed, but nonetheless have had some good opportunities and good shots on target. Well, Rowe looking to find a breakthrough. Forest would love to reinstate that 2-goal cushion before half-time. Boya-Lorca. Of course, she had that second goal, didn't she, from range. Rachel Rowe turns and shoots, and it's deflected and scooped up easily in the safe hands of Shepherd. Well, Kiernan looking for someone on the end of it, and ultimately the free kick goes Durham's way. Well, Foster with the long ball up. Collinson tried to get in behind there, but it was just deflected and sent away. And the momentum shifts to be with Forest. And the offside flag does go up, predictably so, as Leanne Kiernan chases after the ball. Well, Forest again, Boya-Lorca trying to get in behind. She's in a tussle there with Sarah Wilson, and the Durham captain doing very well to hold her off. She's a very powerful and direct striker, isn't she, Boya-Lorca? Wilson doing a great job to thwart that attempt, and eventually out for a Durham throw-in. Well, the referee just having words with Boyle-Lorca, who just, her momentum just carried her through that challenge, didn't it? And instantly after the free kick, we do reach the half-time whistle. Well, the referee just looking like he was checking the ball there. Just a slight query, but all deemed okay, and we are underway for this second 45. Forest will be desperate to keep hold of all 3 points. They've got almost one hand on the winning result at the moment, but a long way to go, and Durham showed real fighting spirit in the last 20 minutes or so of that first half. Well, Forest unable to keep possession there. The ball just getting away from Murphy. And no one in too much of a rush to try and get hold of that ball. I think it was clear there was too much on it. And Emily Batty will get play back underway with a goal kick. Well, Rachel Rowe just running into a few problems with Tyler Tollard there. Forest doing well to maintain possession. Well, Forest on the attack. Kiernan with a good ball in. And Boyle-Lorca's unleashed. And it goes way, way wide. Just wasn't quite struck right, was it? A bit of a smirk to herself. She knows she could have done better with that one. What a way to start the second half that would have been. Just catching it with the outside of a boot a bit too much. Well, both sides having to deal with an injury in that first half. We did lose Jessie Stapleton and Lily Agg, both to injuries in and around that kind of calf Achilles region. Hopefully both players recover quickly. Rachel Rowe then looking to unleash Owima, and Shepherd very bravely coming off the goal line. That could have resulted in a very different turn of events there. But Kiernan looking to make her way back in towards the attacking zones. Forest making use of their back line. With a bit of interruption now, and Molly Lambert doing very well to keep hold of possession there. I thought she might just be dispossessed as quickly as she interrupted the Forest flow. But she did very well to get the ball back to Shepherd, who unfortunately unable to keep the ball in play there. Well, Durham with an opportunity to open up some space here. And Foster with a nice run. Unfortunately running into some issues. But Lucy Watson almost had the ball at her feet there. I thought she might just turn and have a bit of an attack. She showed some really promising spark in that first half. She'll be eager to capitalise on that this afternoon. Well, some fast passing around by Durham, and Heppel rescuing the ball. It was unfortunate that no blue shirt could find that one. Brown. Back to Batty. Brown again. Forest just almost lacking that composure they had in the first half. Finding themselves perhaps slightly more erratic. The pace has picked up somewhat. Rachel Rowe now trying to set up an attack, looking for some support. Tries to find Boya Lorca. Back to Rowe. Trying to assess her options, and Rowe tries to send one in. Headed away. And a slight miscommunication between Murphy and Boya Lorca. Almost gave Durham the opportunity to break free there, and Forest reset and go again. Well, Durham claiming possession there. The flow just interrupted. And it is out for a throw-in. Taken by Michaela Foster once again, who just strolls over, lets her team reconvene slightly and organise themselves. There's no real rush. We're only approaching the 52nd minute mark. There's a lovely tap on by Lambert there, and unfortunately Watson unable to just take control of it and keep it in that dangerous area. Now it's Murphy. Over to Boya Lorca, who just about keeps it in play but does give it away at the same time, and Boya Lorca giving chase now. And the long ball up sends the ball just about out of play. As Grace Eyre decides that she wants to keep the Durham momentum going and takes it very, very quickly. Well, the referee's whistle puts a stop to that. And Sarah Wilson just picks herself back up off the floor. Wilson, of course, one of the longest serving players for Durham. Joined back in 2014, over 200 appearances, rarely missing a game for the Blues. A mainstay, a very reliable figure that does don the captain's armband. Well, Heppel the one to send it in. And collected easily by Emily Batty. Well, Murphy doing well to keep Forest on the ball. And as I say that, she's dispossessed by Molly Lambert. Lambert over to Heppel. Heppel to Watson. Durham showing some promising signs when they are in possession, and Onwima now finding Rowe. Fourteen goals in Denmark last season for Joy Amiwa. We know how dangerous she can be in front of goal, and she definitely doesn't look like she intends to be done with this match just yet, does she? She's looked dangerous at points. And as I say that, a lovely cross in, and Forest thought they might just have a third. Leanne Kiernan, the one with a shot. O'Meal crossing over into the path of Brown as Kiernan turns and tries to get one away. It just goes over the bar. Well, Carly Davis will be much happier with what she's seeing today than what she was seeing back in October when these sides faced each other. What was the very first time in the Barclays Women's Super League 2. It's been a very positive performance from Nottingham Forest today. Rowe looking for Boyle Orca. Rowe retrieving the ball nicely. A battle between herself and Sarah Wilson. Eventually does go Durham's way. Well, Shepherd distributing nicely to her back line. Durham just trying to open up the space and use that left wing. Well, there are more goals going on around the Barclays Women's Super League 2. Crystal Palace now 2-1 up against league leaders Charlton. Palace, of course, sit third in the Barclays WSL 2 at the moment. But here at the City Ground, there is a substitution for Durham. Amber Keegan-Stobbs joins the party. Well, Stobbs, of course, the former captain of Newcastle United, should bring good leadership to the pitch. Well, the flag goes up, and it was a bold move, wasn't it, for Emily Batter to come so far off her line to retrieve that ball. But Durham just finding their rhythm and momentum again. Lambert unable to keep it in this time. Rowe just showcasing her physicality there. She wrestled through the midfield, unfortunately to be dispossessed in the end. But the referee does get his yellow card out. Well, it looks like the yellow card being given to Joy Amewa. A slightly late tackle, ending in a bit of a shoulder barge. And the referee getting all those things squared away, and play continues. And again, another collision there, both players down. Bradley looked like she may have caught her head there, but play continues, and Watson looking threatening on the edge of the box, lays it off to Heppel. And the strike does get away. Stobbs trying to make an impact in the game in the first few minutes. Boyle-Orca just heading away, and it falls for Stobbs, and she has an attempt, but it's not quite got enough power on it to beat the keeper. Wilson finds Boyle-Orca, who goes for the ball straight through the middle, and Amewa wrestled through, and she is pulled up. She feels that was very unjust. She's got to be careful. She's just had her first yellow card. Well, here we'll see she's battling just to get the right side of Bradley. Bradley went to ground, and Amewa fortunately does not receive a second yellow there. Well, we're about 62 minutes into this game, and you can see the frustrations are just starting to rise slightly. It gets to this point in matches, and play starts to get a little bit more interrupted, slightly more broken up. And players with the fatigue, and they just want to be in the flow of the game, start to be a little bit more rash, perhaps, in their decisions, or they try to move with a little bit more intensity and intention. Or Joy Amewa does make way now as Amy Claypole comes onto the pitch for Nottingham Forest. Amewa, of course, opening the scoring earlier on. Amy Claypole coming onto a brilliant reception from the Forest fans as Rowe is now unleashed, racing against Stobbs through the midfield, and eventually just decides that the safest bet is to move it in towards her back line, and a lovely bit of footwork and a turn there from Murphy. But the ball sent over the top, and there's no one in the Forest shirt to collect it. Oh, the long-range strike sails into the stands. Boyle-Lorca wrestles with Grace Eyre, who did go to ground but bounced up pretty quickly. Back on her feet. And Forest could do with perhaps just allowing themselves a moment to breathe. But a lovely ball over the top. And Claypole now racing home, and the flag is up. It's offside. Leanne Kiernan was there ready to send it home into the back of the net. And Forest again. The referee just about getting out of the way in time, and now Durham trying to pull together an attack. Well, Durham enjoying the possession for a moment. Briggs switches over to Eyre. Durham just trying to open up some space. Briggs dispossessed. Wilson able to re-intercept, and the ball with Heppel now. Heppel over to Foster. Stobbs. Through to Briggs. Quick turn from Briggs. Over to Lambert. Lambert chasing down, almost kept it in. And it will be a goal kick. Well, there's that long-range shot from Rachel Rowe. Central midfielder. 11 starts for her this season, including today, and Forest almost finding a way through. Good bit of defending in the end. And Deirdre Bradley, and Forest doing well at keeping the tempo slightly more calm. And now there was almost a bit of hesitation there, wasn't there, from Kiernan? She thought she might have been offside again. The flag didn't go up. She did still get to the ball first. And Forest will have to reset, unable to make the most of that last opportunity. Kiernan almost through on goal. Well, we're into our 70th minute now, and Nottingham Forest still lead Durham 2-1 at the City Ground. It's been a great afternoon, actually, in Nottingham so far. The support from the Forest contingent has been fantastic, as Nottingham Forest have run a bit of an initiative this week, giving out tickets to various youth groups and women's teams. Rachel Rowe doing very well to keep hold of the ball there, and Forest on the attack. It's a great strike and a good save. Shepherd keeps her line clear. Amy Rogers doing very well. A powerful shot from Rogers. Well, Forest again launching another attack, and Boyle-Lorca into the centre, and the pass a little bit too loose, and Kiernan not able to get to it. Can't change direction quickly enough. Well, Barclays Women's Super League Football have launched their brand new app earlier this week. It offers fans of both the Barclays Women's Super League and the Barclays Women's Super League 2 a front row seat to exclusive content and all the games broadcast on the league's YouTube channels. To download the app for free, fans can search Barclays Women's Super League Football in the App Store or the Google Play Store. Well, it's still 2-1 here at the City Ground, but Birmingham have scored against Bristol City. You can see there Bristol City 0, Birmingham 1 in the bottom left of your screen. Goals from all around the Women's Super League 2 this afternoon. Forest still looking for a third. Durham have been slightly quieter in the last 10 minutes or so. Rachel Rowe has featured slightly more heavily in this second half. She's been quite creative, a driving force. Well, Boyle-Lorca doing well to get out of trouble there. And the ball up and over the top, and is Boyle-Lorca going to get there? No, she's not quite. As Shepherd just beats her to it. Again, a very brave move for the Durham keeper to come so far off her line there. Absolutely the right choice in the end, but well, Durham trying to find another attack, and you can see there that they currently sit 10th in the league. Forest is currently sat 8th. Durham just 1 point above Portsmouth, bottom of the table at the minute in 12th. Ipswich Town level on points with Portsmouth, but ahead on goal difference, so a point here for Durham would be very, very important and just help give them a bit more breathing space at the bottom of the table. Forest will feel themselves slightly more comfortable, especially if they take home all 3 points this afternoon. Well, a bit of fancy footwork from Rogers there as Forest switch around the possession nice and smoothly. And Durham do concede the free kick, and the medical staff being waved straight on for Leanne Kiernan. Well, Speckmeyer lining up to come onto the pitch now, and off she goes. She replaces Grace Collinson. Collinson, of course, came on earlier on to help the injured Lily Agg. Well, Kiernan just getting the assessment she needs before being allowed, hopefully, to play on. The referee just reminding her that she does have to be waved back onto the pitch after being treated by the medical staff. Well, 75 minutes gone, and play is back underway. It has been an entertaining game, especially that first half. And there we have the match stats. Nottingham Forest coming out stronger in this second half with 12 shots to Durham's 7. 5 of them on target to Durham's 4, and Forest, of course, dominating the possession now. So the game's leaning slightly more in Forest's favour than we saw it perhaps around about the half-time whistle. Well, Forest enjoying a bit of a spell of possession, but there's another score update, and Crystal Palace are 3-1 up now against Charlton. Palace will be thoroughly enjoying that, knowing that they are doing all they can to be in the playoff zone for promotion. And now Forest try to get a shot away, and they thought they were just building something special there, didn't they? Brown unable to keep the effort down and on target. Well, we said the Forest fans have been in good voice throughout the game today, and you can still hear them as this match continues. In fact, you might have just heard the attendance being announced over the tannoy. 1,395 fans have travelled to the City Ground today to watch this fixture. They are underneath the gantry today, and that's why you can hear them but not see them on today's coverage. But the very passionate Forest fans have been singing and chanting throughout. Well, Newcastle have levelled the score against Sunderland. 1-1. Talk about a rivalry, what a derby that match is. The fans will be loving the drama and the excitement in that match. But here we've got Emily Batty. She sends the free kick long. Brown looking for Kiernan. Kiernan just wrestled off it slightly. Durham really doing all they can to interrupt and cause havoc in that midfield. Forest doing very well to reset and reorganise each time. And a lovely through ball now, and Claypole looks like she could be in here. She squares it over, and Claypole unable to capitalise on that. Kiernan was in position, she was ready to receive it. It's an excellent bit of defending from Bradley. Deirdre Bradley, right place, right time. brilliant through ball. Claypole squares nicely. Took a slight deflection off the keeper's palm into the pathway of Bradley, who was able to keep it clear and not carry it into the goal mouth with her. Well, Murphy to take the corner. The ball just being blown away slightly. It's challenging conditions in Nottingham. We've seen rain, we've seen wind, and the ball pretty much meeting the first post then as Durham clear their lines. Got about 10 minutes of added time to go, of normal time, sorry, then we'll have added time. Fewer interruptions so far in this second half. Well, it's an exciting match over at Crystal Palace, isn't it? With 3 goals now to Charlton's 2. So the league leaders trying to pull their way back into this game as they head into the later stages as well. But we are still 2-1 here at the City Ground, and Forest looking for a third. Rowe winding herself up, and Foster able to interrupt the flow. Boyle-Orca just trying to get it under control. She can't quite manage it. And Grace Eyre takes the throw in. Boyle-Orca not panicking. And she's surrounded by blue shirts, but eventually dispossessed anyway. Well, Forest looking to try and break through here, and Kiernan over on the right wing, cuts in left. Kiernan gets the ball away, and it's sent over the top of the bar by Brown. That's a lovely bit of link-up play from the Reds, as Brown just not able to keep it under the bar. But Forest showing once again just how dangerous they can be to launch an attack pretty much at any point. Durham still putting up a strong fight. Lambert. Dispossessed by Head. Rowe back to Boyle-Orca. Back to Rachel Rowe. Rowe doing very well to turn and get out of trouble there. Advantage given, and the long pass over to Claypole. Claypole cuts into Boyle-Orca. Boyle-Orca turns, digs it away. Claypole tries to get something on it and can't quite. And the referee just asking Shepherd to hold on a moment. It just became slightly unpredictable, didn't it, when it just bounced up off the boot of Boyle-Orca. Claypole doing brilliantly to try and get an effort away there. Claypole, only 20 years old, of course. Important to remember, 4 goals this season. And as we've seen, full of intelligent movement between the lines and a fantastic link between the midfield and attack. It shows why she is so integral and so impactful when she comes onto the pitch. Well, Forest building again. And eventually, the ball just being run out of play. We have more changes for Nottingham Forest. Well, Rose coming on for Leanne Kiernan. Boyle Lorca makes way as well. Well, Almqvist comes on and Rachel Rowe makes way. Rowe has been brilliant in this second half, hasn't she? So energetic. Well, Forest looking to break very swiftly after this restart now, and Wellings with a lovely through ball looking for Claypole, and Claypole knew that she wasn't quite going to get there in time. There's slightly too much on it, and Shepherd the one that scoops it up. 3 minutes of regular time still to play. Well, Forest moving the ball round in a very nice fashion now, effortlessly almost. Well, Bradley passes back to Shepherd, and Forest do well to intercept. Rogers forward to Claypole. Claypole tries to play over to Almqvist, and Almqvist still with the ball. Oh, it's a lovely run in, and she looks to try and find a way through on goal, and Rose was there, but there was no way through. Shepherd shielding her front post brilliantly. Well, Murphy to take the corner. In towards the back post, and it's just tipped away. Shepherd getting her hands to it, but Rose doing brilliantly to turn and regain possession. She's pulled back and she does go to floor. It will be a yellow card, and I suspect a free kick just outside of the box here, in what could be a very dangerous position. Deanne Rose doing a brilliant job. A fantastic run to regain possession there. And Watson just pulling her back. And a bit of a shuffling to the Durham wall. Well, 4 minutes additional time in this second half. And Durham still not quite clear of any dangers from this free kick. And it's a ball in, and Shepherd able to collect nicely. Charlie Welling's effort was good, but nothing too strenuous. Another yellow card being shown, and it was a bit of a kerfuffle, wasn't there, at the end of that bit of play. And Shepherd picking it out of the air nicely, and as she does so, you see Broom just almost jumping into her, misjudging her effort, perhaps block the effort and the goal kick. Broom shielding nicely as Emily Batty scoops it up, and the ball is in safe hands for the moment. Nottingham Forest 2, Durham 1. We've got around about 2.5 minutes left as a minimum. And Durham will be desperate to do something with it. And as I say that, Molly Lambert giving away a bit of a silly free kick, really. Just pushing Rogers to the ground. Not really necessary. Forest eager to see this game out now. Attacking once more. That's a lovely ball through, and Claypole just slightly too far ahead of it. That could have been a delightful opportunity. Rose in again with another good dispossession, and the referee's whistle goes. Well, Durham, can they launch one more attack? Briggs currently sends the ball back out. Heppel can't quite get there. And Forest start to get it away, and it will be a Durham throw-in. Foster will take it. Michaela Foster in no real rush, actually. Sends the ball in, and Rose relieved there that she was the only one left to it, and then with the referee's whistle, there was no real threat. Emily Batty will be keen to send this up the pitch. Well, there it is, the full-time whistle, as Batty takes her goal kick. It was literally the last kick of the game.